Hey everyone, I'm back. This is Sh-Wan Shares. I'm back with another video to continue our conversation on PCOS, IVF, getting pregnant, all of those things. So I know I dropped off at going back to the fertility clinic in February. She told me that we could do it, ready to go. But I'm gonna backtrack a little bit to just give you some important things about PCOS. PCOS is polycystic ovary syndrome. It's a condition that affects women's hormones. Women with PCOS produce higher than normal amounts of male hormones. This hormone imbalance can cause them to skip menstrual periods and make it harder for them to get pregnant. Remember I told you before that I was skipping periods a lot, like months at a time. So also PCOS causes hair growth on the face and body and baldness, and it can contribute to long-term health problems like diabetes and heart disease. I've been getting tested for diabetes because I had PCOS. Never had it. Levels never was high. Even when I was pregnant, I didn't have those problems. No kind of heart disease. I don't have any of that. The hair growth, I do have it, and I noticed it when I was younger, and I just thought, I don't know, maybe I was going through puberty, I had the thick sideburns, the thick eyebrows, I had the female mustache, and I even got teased a little bit in high school about having a mustache. Somebody that was supposed to be my friend she would tease me a lot. That would be really it. Wouldn't tease me about anything else. I don't know, but whatever. So I had that. Then as I got older, my hair started thinning. I noticed that. But I would cut my hair, I would dye my hair. So I'm thinking, but nevertheless, birth control pills and diabetes drugs can help fix the hormone imbalance and improve symptoms. So before I went to the fertility clinic, my doctor did put me on some diabetes medicine to try, and it made me sick and all of that, so I had to get off of that. So the lack of ovulation alters levels of estrogen, progesterone, FSH, and LG. Estrogen and progesterone levels are lower than usual. Extra male hormones disrupt the menstrual cycle, so women with PCOS get fewer periods than usual. So PCOS isn't a new condition. It's been around forever. So it says polycystic ovary syndrome affects up to almost 27% of women during their childbearing years. It involves cysts in the ovaries, high levels of male hormones, and irregular periods. I didn't have any cysts in my ovaries, so that wasn't a problem. Doctors don't know exactly what causes PCOS. They believe that high levels of male hormones prevent the ovaries from producing hormones and making eggs normally. Genes, insulin resistance, and inflammatory have all been linked to excess androgen production. So that's just to give you, a little background into the PCOS. They even have some things on how it affects black women. So you could read up on that and show how it affects black women differently from white women or any other race, really. So, all right, back to going to the doctors in February, finding out everything was a go, we could start. So they wrote up my prescription and gave me my sheet of what I'm supposed to do, what I'm supposed to take, how long I'm supposed to take it, all of that. So I'm gonna show you. I am gonna show you my stack of medical records. I'm not gonna, show you individually what it is, but I'm gonna show you basically this is my medical records from the very first time I went to the fertility clinic until I stopped. So the very first time I went to the fertility clinic was July of 2014. Okay, so I started my medicine I believe I started it in March, because they want to, after you have your next cycle, that's when you start everything. So I started in March, started my cycle, did my medicine, did my shots, all of that. Again, in pain again, but this time I didn't have to do the egg retrieval because I had eggs frozen. So I did the shots that I needed to do to get my body ready to prepare to have an egg put back in. April 16th, 2019, we went to the fertility clinic, and me and my husband, we dressed in, I love Mickey Mouse. So I got him a Mickey Mouse shirt. I had a Mickey Mouse shirt on, Mickey Mouse hoodie. So we said, we're going to be positive about this thing. And mind you, I had lost a lot of weight. So we was going in with open minds, but we was hopeful we were going to have a baby. So one egg multiplied and, did what it was supposed to do, to the point where they was able to put it back in. I'm going to show you the egg. This is the egg. This is considered basically a perfect egg. Now, this part right here is where it had started actually hatching on its own. So the sperm and everything was already, all of that was there. So this is where it was like coming out. It was hatching on its own. So they put this back in, like I said, April 16th, 2019. Transfer. It was a Blastish transfer, frozen embryo transfer. They did that. You're supposed to wait 2 weeks, right? So I'm feeling normal, but something just said, I don't know, I don't really feel right. So after the 5th day, I told my husband, I was like, I don't know, I just don't feel right. So he was like, well, do you want to take a pregnancy test? I'm scared, but yeah, let's take one so I can prepare myself for the letdown. Because he had all of the positive stuff in the world. I was kind of holding back because I'm like, listen, I done been through this. I'm going to try to get myself together to hear when they call that I'm not pregnant again. So I said, well, I'm going to go ahead and take the pregnancy test. I take the pregnancy test. And oh my gosh. It was the line, because the pregnancy test I had, it had the lines. One line was completely there. The other one was very, very, very faint. Very faint. So I said, it's, I don't see no 2 lines. He looked at it. He said, girl, you crazy. It's 2 lines there. I was like, no, it's not. No, it's not. So we went with, he thought his way and I thought my way. So a couple days went by, maybe 2 or 3 days. I took another one, and I took the other one I took was the digital one. So it would come up pregnant or not pregnant. This one, I took it, waited, I think it's 5 minutes that you wait. It said pregnant. I have never had a positive pregnancy test. Never. At this time, I was 38 years old. Was I 38? I was 37. Yeah, I was 37. At this time, I was 37 years old. Never had a positive pregnancy test. I'm so excited. But didn't want to tell anyone because I needed the blood test. I needed my doctor to confirm to me that I wasn't losing my mind, that this was a true pregnancy test. So, I think that weekend we had a birthday party to go to. So I wasn't drinking, none of that. So I told my husband, I said, we got to make it look like I'm drinking. So no one will think anything suspicious. So got to make it look like I'm drinking. So we go to the party. I think I ordered water with lemon, just to, put a lemon in it. So, So that's what I was drinking, and I'm just feeling, I don't know. I just wasn't feeling all that hot. Like, I was tired. Like, I was so tired. So go back to the fertility clinic. I believe like that Thursday or Friday, that next week. We go. They do a blood test. They ask me how I'm feeling. And I'm like, well, I took a pregnancy test. It said positive, but so they like, wow, okay. So they said, well, we're still going to wait for the blood test. So they don't tell you right then and there. They take your blood, check everything. They say, go home. We'll call you. Or no, call us around 1:30. It's always between 1:30 and 2 o'clock because they go on lunch beforehand. So, and this is Maryland Fertility Clinic, which is closed now because Dr. Bass retired in January of 2020. But Maryland Fertility Clinic in Towson changed my life in a big way. So, shouts out to Dr. Bass. I love her, wonderful woman. So, I called at 1:30. I told my husband, I said, I don't want you on the phone. Let me call, let me do this by myself. Let me call, get the information, and I'll give you a call. Because he was at work. He works in the evening, so I was home. So I called, and I told her my name. And she said, I have your results. She said, but your nurse, Mercer, that was her name, Mercer, she wants to talk to you. So I'm like, oh my gosh, what did they get ready to tell me? She said, I do have them right here in front of me. She said, but Mercer said when you call to let her know because she needs to talk to you. So I said, okay. So she said, hold on for a second. I'm going to go get him. Mercer gets on the phone. She said, Mrs. Clark. I said, hey, Mercer. She said, Mrs. Clark, I told them I needed to talk to you. I don't want anybody else to talk to you. You are pregnant. I started screaming in the phone. She was like, Mrs. Clark, I'm so happy. I'm so proud. She said, we've been doing this for 5 years straight. I said, I know, and I'm crying. And I'm just so happy. So, of course, you got to go back. They don't release you from the fertility clinic until, I think they released me at 9 weeks. It was either 9 or 10 weeks. I was 9 or 10 weeks. No, it was before then because of my age. I think they released me about between 7 and 8 weeks. They released me to my OB. So we were ecstatic because like I said, every one we tried, it failed. So they was just as excited for me, as I was. So call my husband. I'm excited. I'm crying. He like, we got to call our mothers. Call his mother. She crying. She at work. She crying. She's screaming, of course. This is her first grandchild. She's ecstatic. So call my mother. My mother is so happy. My mother is not her first grandchild because my sister has my sister has kids, as I told y'all before. So my mother is excited because it's my first child, but it's not her first grandchild. So, but our parents definitely was so excited for us. I don't know. They were just like so excited for us. So, me and my husband had already talked about if we do become pregnant, who we want as our child's godparents. So, he said, well, let's call who we picked for godparents. I'm not sure if they want me to say their name, so I won't. I haven't talked to them to ask them that. So I'll actually text her and ask her. But we called them. Well, he wasn't home. He was at work. So I called her and I said, what are you doing? She was like, nothing, da 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 da. I said, guess what? And she just screamed, you pregnant. She started crying. I started crying. Everybody was just so excited because people close to us know how much, we've been going through this and how much we've been trying. And it is a really stressful thing to be a woman and feel like inside that you cannot have a baby. Let's even, let's scratch out the men. It is a terrible, terrible, terrible feeling to be carrying this around that I may not ever have a baby. Now, it's some women that just, really don't want to have kids. But as to someone that got married and, wanted to start a family and all of that, it was a hurtful thing to walk around knowing I may not ever be able to have a kid. Like, I just all kinds of things just ran through my head. Why am I not able to have a kid? So, the doctor's appointment started, and I had to go to them, and I had to keep getting progesterone. You had to keep getting a progesterone shot in your butt, like in the muscle of your butt. Hurt so bad. Now that hurt worse than the regular shots that I was getting. That was painful. My butt was bruised, and like I said, I'm a dispatcher. So I sit down for almost 12 hours a day working. So my butt was hurting. I had to get a donut to sit on, to switch sides because my butt was hurting so bad. So that was a little, So, and I had just started a new job. Now, mind you, I got pregnant in April. I had started my new job March 18th. And it was like just everything was just happening. I had been on night shift for years, working as a dispatcher. I started this new job. I was on day shift. I'm trying to get my sleep adjusted, trying to get my body adjusted. And here I am pregnant. So, extra tired. I didn't know. I knew, people telling me, you're tired when you're pregnant. You're so fatigued. I did not know how much. Oh my gosh, I was so tired. So I was getting up at 3 something in the morning, going to work, having to be to work at 6 o'clock. I work in DC, so I have to drive. Oh my gosh, so tired. So I'm going to work, going through this pregnancy, 10 weeks because of my age. They call it a geriatric pregnancy. I know, petty, right? Because I'm nowhere near geriatric. Nowhere near. But that's what they call it when you're over, I think it's 35. When you're over 35 and you're pregnant. Geriatric pregnancy. So petty. But anyway, so I had to go to the doctors a little more often than people younger being pregnant. So at 10 weeks, I found out what we were having. We did gender reveal. Even though I'm older, I wanted everything. This is my first child. I want everything. I want a gender reveal. I want everything. So he found out he was having a girl, and it was the best. My husband was excited. Of course he wanted a son, but hey, God gave us what he wanted us to have. So he was excited. We was having a girl. We came up with names, and we was going back and forth with the names, and we finally named her. So the pregnancy up until about 20 weeks was perfect. I wasn't having any problems. I was going to the doctors, no problems. I went at 20 weeks, they do this thing. You have to go get an ultrasound. They check the baby to see how the baby's forming, how the baby's growing. They measure your cervix and all of that. Well, I go there and I find out, she said, well, your cervix is a little short. And I'm like, okay, is that a problem? She said it may be. So they call my doctors. My doctor said she needs to go to labor and delivery. I'm like, oh my God, please don't tell me that I'm going to have this child now. And, So I go to labor and delivery. They like, well, usually we kind of do this sooner, but I'm so glad that we caught it. You're going to have to get a stitch put in. They call it something else, something specific. I don't know what it is. It's a stitch. It's long. It's a stitch. So I get a stitch put in. So my doctor said, all right, so you're on bed rest. I just started a new job. I'm on bed rest. Yes, you're on bed rest. You can't be driving up and down, back and forth to DC. If you were still working in the city, that's something different. Can't be running up and down the highway, going back and forth to DC. So stay on bed rest until you're at least 28 weeks. I'm like, all right, cool. My job was so helpful in this. People donated time to me. Because, again, I had just started. I ain't had no time saved up. People donated time to me. They do this thing where they advance time to you. So, I got FMLA. They advanced time to me. All of that. So, I was straight. I wasn't getting a full paycheck. But, listen, God definitely was there for my husband and I. We have a house. We have a truck payment. Like, we have responsibilities. We are adults. We have things going on. We have bills. But we had to prepare for this baby. My baby was going to be brought up in a safe environment, basically. So, I stay on bed rest. Once you get the stitch, you have to go to the doctors every week. I'm going every week. I'm getting an ultrasound every week. So this was the very first ultrasound. This was done at Fertility Center of Maryland. So that's my little baby right there. So I was getting ultrasounds every week. Every week I was seeing my baby. I was going every either Thursday or Friday. So I was getting ultrasounds. So I could see her progressing the entire time. And it was the best. Like, that is the best thing. So, I don't think I'm gonna show y'all all of the ultrasounds, but as I was just getting ultrasounds. So as time went on, I was able to go back to work. I could put my feet up, stuff like that. So went back to work. Of course, they catered to me and all of that. So I started getting ultrasounds, and I'm feeling good. Started getting this, felt like a lightning bolt or something in like my private area, like my pelvis at the bottom of my stomach. And so I'm asking the doctor when we went back, like, what is that? She said it's called lightning crotch. What? Never even heard of that. Of course, I'm Googling it. It's something that you get when you're pregnant. Had no idea. Didn't know any of that. But you can start to see her little face. And we named her Raleigh. Her name is Raleigh Alandis. So we're starting to see her little face, and we are excited. Look at that face. Look at it. It's so cute. So we go through the motions, all of that. They scheduled me because of my age, they scheduled me to induce my labor. That was scheduled for December 27th, something like that. It was scheduled. So I went to the doctors for a checkup. My mother was taking me between my mother-in-law, and my husband. We were flip-flopping. Going to the doctors. So my mother was with me at this time. So they check in me, and she was like, everything looks good. How do you feel? I was like, I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm just ready to have the baby. So she said, I'm like, what? What is, what you found? What's wrong? She like, your fluid is just a little low. That's okay. I'm going to talk to the doctor, see what they want you to do. So I turned around and I look at my mother. I said, I'm not going home. They're going to keep me. She said, girl, they ain't keeping you. You're going home. You scheduled. I think I was scheduled in I think it was 2 weeks. Yeah, like 2 weeks. You scheduled for them to induce you anyway. I was like, they ain't going to send me home. Not with my fluid low. They come back. We're going to send you to labor and delivery. You're going to have the baby this weekend. I said, I told you. This was December. This was the 12th on that Friday. I believe it was that Friday. It was that Friday. I believe it was the 12th. No, it was the 13th. So, Friday the 13th. Yeah, Friday the 13th. Yeah, I just thought about that. So anyway, they sent me up to labor and delivery. I called my husband. He's at work. I'm like, well, they're going to keep me. They said I'm going to have the baby. He like, okay, cool. I'm on my way back to my job. I said, well, I need you to go home first because I need you to bring my bag and stuff. I didn't bring anything. So he said, all right, I'm going home. Go get the stuff. He come down to the hospital. They told me you can eat one last time before you won't be able to eat. So I said, now, I told you I had the sleeve surgery. My pregnancy, I ate pretty good. It wasn't bad. I didn't gain that much weight, but I gained enough. I was like, listen, I want a chicken box and a Pepsi. Like, that's what I want. So my husband was like, all right, I got you. Bring it down. Of course, I think I ate like 1 or 2 chicken wings. Drank a little bit of the Pepsi. Whatever. So they like, all right, you ready? Yeah, I think so. I think I'm ready. They give me an epidural. And they give you this stuff to induce your labor. I was fine for a little bit. Boy, oh boy. After a while, those labor pains. So I'm going to stop it right here. Come back for the next video. The lipstick I'm wearing today is by the Lip Bar. And it is called Ballsy Lady. Get this at the Lip Bar. It's black owned. That is Lip Bar. And it's a pretty color. It's pretty. I like it. I'll leave the description. I'll leave the link in the description box. We're also going to be talking about miscarriages, and I'm going to actually have someone come on and talk to me also about losing a child after the child is born. Like, we're really going to get into some good stuff that really needs to be talked about. Our feelings. We don't talk about our feelings enough. We go through things and we just move on. We need to learn how to actually talk about these things. So, like the video, comment, subscribe, share. Please share. I think this needs to get out to, more people. So please share the video, like the video, subscribe to my channel. I'm going to have more videos coming. I'm going to try to do more than one video a week with my schedule and the baby. It's a little hard, but I'm going to try do more videos during the week. So yes, thank you for joining me. I'm going to get this video up and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for coming to Sh-Wan Shares. Love you. Bye.